What's going on, all you Minties? This is the Uncanny Omar, and today I have
Miss Lydia.
She's joining me to talk about one of these Udon entertainment books. So we have 3 art books to look at, so stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody, and thank you to Udon Entertainment for sending us these books.
That's right, we're going to be looking at 2 art books. We have the Devil May Cry graphic arts, The Art of Shantae, and this field guide here, which we're going to look at first with Miss Lydia, because she is the Mega Man expert in the house. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll look at the Mega Man X Maverick Hunter's Field Guide first. Oh, Miss Lydia brought up a really good point. Why don't we show the different sizes that these books come in? So Devil May Cry is, of course, your tallest one. Let's look at all the spines together. Here's what all the spines look like together. I really love the pixel of Shantae down there. Dante's all the way at the bottom. And it's Devil May Cry 3142. Interesting that they numbered it that way.
And these are the backs of the books. And the retail price of the art books is $49.99. And then for the field guide, it's $29.99.
They are all hardcovers and no dust jackets on them. So let's take a look at the field guide now, Miss Lydia. Is that okay?
Uh-huh.
Alright, Miss Lydia, let's get this opened. So here we have the Maverick Hunter's Field Guide with artwork from just different games of Mega Man X, right?
Uh-huh. Like, you could tell some of the profiles, they kept the old art, maybe they redrew some of the characters, but most of the time it's the newer art, but, like, you can tell when they kept the old art in there.
And one thing they do is they show you the pixelated forms of the characters if they came from a Super Nintendo game, because Mega Man X started on the Super Nintendo, and then it went on the PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and we've had just different collections of these games. And is this done in alphabetical order?
Yep, and sometimes the pixels, like, versions of them don't appear, but, like, most of the time there is an image. Like, you see right there, there's no pixel, but...
For Botos?
Yeah, but most of the time it does have an image to...
Okay, so explain to me what I'm looking at here. So, for example, we're looking at Burn Rooster. Does it tell you what game they're from? Or...
Yeah, like, in the little box, like, it does show what game they're from. Like, it shows their affiliations, it shows their weapons, known weaknesses. It also shows, like, aliases.
Aliases, like what I would call Burn Rooster?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way that they do the game is you can tell it comes from X1. So that's Mega Man X1. That's Dr. Kane. This character right here, Bite, comes from Mega Man X3. And you have the art right there, the pixel here, and what is this? What is this font, like text, not font, sorry. What is the text? What is the field guide about?
Like, most of the time for just, like, the normal, like, 8 Mavericks that you go and fight, like, it most of the time just has, like, a paragraph about their personality, and usually one about their weapon that they use during battle, and one about the weapon that X, Zero, or Axel can get, like, depending on the game.
Okay. So here's a question that I don't think about when looking at these things. Is there spoilers in this field guide?
Yes, there definitely is.
So would you suggest maybe playing the game first and then coming back to look at the characters in alphabetical order?
Like, unless you're like me sometimes and you don't care about spoilers, then you can look through this entire book. But yeah, there definitely is some spoilers. Like, not on the, like, obviously in the major character sections, at least for the games, there definitely is some spoilers on what happens.
And this is an updated field guide, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the cool things about it, it's written in Japanese, like the characters' names. Yeah, that's cool. They didn't do that in Mega Man, did they? Or the Mega Man field guide?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Oh, did they? That's cool.
But, like, don't count my word for it.
Don't count your word. Okay. So anything here that stands out that you would say, oh, this is definitely not for kids? Would you recommend this for young adults, teenagers? What age range?
Alicia's right, and she's 9, so... I mean, again, I guess it, like, for me, as somebody who's never played Mega Man X, it could get a little bit confusing, since it talks about, like, what happens in the games and stuff, and you might not understand.
There's the guy, Sigma. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Like, what, the games are about, so yeah, it could definitely get confusing, but if you do know what the games are about, and you're, like, 5, I'm sure you can read this.
And how many pages does it have?
It has 176 pages.
176 pages in this thick, glossy paper that it's printed. That kid looks like Mega Man. It's printed in this thick, glossy paper, And let's look. Is there anything extra in the back?
Yep, and in the back are mostly all the armors and stuff like that.
Oh,
it definitely
cool.
has a bunch of Sigma's forms, because
oh yeah,
Sigma
well, let's skip some
back.
of that. What is this? You think they'll do a Mega Man Zero field guide?
Probably, because that's what they did last time in the Mega Man field guide. Is like
this
they
is cool.
showed Mega Man X and Zeros, so I'm assuming that they're gonna go and make a new field guide.
That's awesome.
And also in the back there does like have an entire little section for which characters belong in which games.
Oh, they do? Okay. Oh, right here.
Yeah, right there.
All right. As far as the binding, so we are looking at sewn binding, and there's that eye. Not that you really need that much of an eye for 184 pages. All right, but let's get a closer look at that spine. We looked at that a little bit earlier, and then the back of the book. All right, Miss Lydia, thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.
All right, now I'm rolling solo. Next up is the Devil May Cry graphic arts book. This is another hardcover, like I mentioned earlier. Here's the spine, Devil May Cry 3142. So it is just the Devil May Cry series 1 through 4, and we're going to be looking in here. No dust jacket, just art on the board. And this one is huge. This is a big book. Originally printed in Japan. But Udon Studios did bring it over to America this year, and it's all translated. So this is what they call a heartwarming family reunion. And here's your introduction by Hideaki Itsuno, who is one of the directors on Devil May Cry. So here's your table of contents. You have Devil May Cry 3, the original Devil May Cry 4, 2, and then the extras. And cameo appearances, even. So kicking it off with Devil May Cry 3. You have some of the intro there, the movie intro, some of the slides, and then here's some artwork in here. This, of course, being your main character, Dante, and Virgil, just fighting it out. And if you're not familiar with this series, this is when it first appeared in the PlayStation 2 years. We had actually a remake of Devil May Cry that was just called DMC a few years ago. And I believe Devil May Cry 5 was the last one that came out. I haven't played it since 3, the director's cut of 3. I think it was released in America as one of the greatest hits, but you could play as Virgil. So there's Dante. And again, with these art books, sometimes there is spoilers, so you may want to play the games first. Here's Virgil, and then of course some of the villains here. I love that you get a lot of CG and background. So it looks like what you get is character artwork, the creatures, so a lot of the villains, the locations, the weapons, some of the character designs, and then some of the settings. So I skipped some there. Devil May Cry 1, this again being the very first one that showed up on the PlayStation 2. I want to say back in 2002. I'm sure they'll give you a little more info. There's Dante and Trish. And just some of the baddies that show up. Some of the drafts right here. I love this stuff. The original concept artwork, the way that the characters originally look. Oh, here's some of the levels. And Devil May Cry 4 is next. So I haven't even played this one. This is the one that was on the PlayStation 3. And I think that is a new character. That's not Dante. Maybe it's Dante's kid. I really don't know anything about this one here, so this one is a big surprise. Whoa, what's up, ladies? How y'all doing? All right, was that Trish back there? And some of the image illustrations in there. This book right here, like I mentioned, is $49.99. It is a hardcover. It's huge, and 224 pages. Forgot about the Nero. That's the character's name. All right, let's see where Devil May Cry 2 is, because they have a lot of Devil May Cry 4 in here. Here is Devil May Cry 2. I remember people not liking this one as much because, yeah, you could play two different characters. You can play the character of Dante, or you can play the character of Lucia here. I think it just got away from the original idea of Devil May Cry, so I got a lot of hate. I think I beat it both ways. I beat it with Dante and I beat it with Lucia. But I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of fun. I like when they don't stick to a certain formula in video games. But this is the kind of artwork you're going to see in here. A lot of the concept designs, the drafts, the early drafts. And I love to see how much of it changed. So what is this? The extra. Alright, so this is just additional artwork in here. I wonder if they'll have any of the anime. I think this is the guy from just DMC, as it was called. The Devil May Cry remake. And am I crazy? There was a Devil May Cry 5, right? Here's the cameo appearances. Oh, okay, this has to be in the Marvel vs. Yep, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. The Project X Zone, which was I think it was a DS game. More of the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. Beautiful Joe, I forgot they appeared in there. Now there's a game, an art book I need, because I love that series. That was a very underrated series. The model sheets for the animation. So this is the Devil May Cry animation back here. Some of the weapons that you'll see in the anime. And then interviews all the way in the back. Several interviews, as a matter of fact. And then all the way in the very back is the credits right here for the Devil May Cry 3142 graphic arts. Now, let's take a look at the binding. So it is sewn binding, but not much of an eye. Not that you would really need one for the page count that this one has, but the paper quality is this thick, glossy paper. You can't tell what the artwork is on the other side, no matter how white the pages are. And I love that about this, because if you're going to show art like this, especially big, beautiful pieces that are on the opposite page of something that's white, that's something I don't want to see coming through, so I think it's very important. Alright, let's go on to the next book. I could not wait to open this book up. This is The Art of Shantae. Shantae is a series of video games that it's been coming out since the Game Boy Color. That's when the first one came out. There have been a total of 5 of them, and every single one of them has been remade. Or, I'm sorry, the early games, like the first 3 games have been remade for the PSP, and now the Switch, and the PS5 I've seen. I know Limited Run Games has had some limited editions of these physical games. So what we have here are the 5 games, I believe. You have Shantae, Risky's Revenge, Pirate's Curse, Half Genie Hero, 7 Sirens. So those are your 5 main games there. Earliest concepts, oh, this is cool, from 1994, and then bonus content. So that was your table. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I love looking at stuff like this. The original pitch, the original ideas, talking about how Shantae would originally transform in the concept, and then the game pitch right here from 1995. And then, of course, what it turned into. Very first game. It's a little bit different than what they were originally having planned to do with the character of Shantae. So it is a side-scroller. It's a lot of fun. Beautiful hand-drawn animation. And I think that's what makes games like this really stand out. And one of the reasons why I love collecting art books, to just appreciate the behind the scenes. Because there's a lot of folks, I mean, sometimes there's a lot of folks. Sometimes it's just a handful of people that put these independent games together. But, I mean, I realize it's no longer independent. It's a huge game now. And a huge franchise. And there's been 5 of them. That's crazy. They're a lot of fun. I remember the first one being a little bit difficult on the Game Boy Color. I think it was even remade. No, the follow-up was on the Game Boy Advance. But this is the type of style. Very cartoony. Absolutely cartoony. There's the concept artwork. The way some of the different artists portrayed her. It's very cool. Let's keep going. This is the Pirate's Curse now. The main box art. And every time they remake them, they have different box art. That's another thing I appreciate about the series. Is that even though there's a newer version, or an HD version, or now 4K version, or whatever the PlayStation 5 version is, they'll draw a new concept art for the cover. So that's the second game. Let's get to Half Genie Hero here. I don't want to spoil everything. Just turning of the pages and cartoony characters. I definitely love different types of artwork. Whether it's something like this, something realistic, something horrific, something abstract. Just, I don't know. I've always been a fan of just different types of art. And I appreciate the different forms it comes in. So in this particular book, you get the stages, you get the key artwork, the rough concept sketches, the different styles of the different artists. Oh my gosh, that's from Mighty Switch Force. They gave her that costume from Mighty Switch Force. Another Wayward game that they worked on. And like I was saying, the different environments, the different costumes, and of course the creature, the baddies, right? Their designs. This is the style exploration. Looks like an RPG right there. A lot of this stuff I haven't seen. Risky. This is the Seven Sirens, yeah. Let's look at the last part of this. There we go, the game opening. Continued. And then look at the bonus content here. There were figures? I didn't know there were figures. Huh. There were pins? I did know that. I knew there were pins. Watch Quests, Heroes of Time. The different sprites in the Game Boy Color. Oh, they added that. That's cool. Here's Risky's Revenge, Pirate's Curse. They added the sprites. Love it. This is Matt Bozo's sketchbook. He's the primary artist, I believe. That's awesome. Glad those are included in here. And then you have the featured artist of Shantae. And along with the featured artist, you have some concept sketches there. And then the Art of Shantae credits. So, Shantae created by Matt and Aaron Bozon. So that's why you see his name, his sketchbook there a lot. And that's why you see that it's Bozon up there. Now, the book has 224 pages. It is sewn binding, really thick, glossy paper. Makes the colors really stand out. And here is, there we go, to get a better idea of what that eye is going to look like with that sewn binding. Again, 224 pages. That, as they say, is that.
And this was our overview of these art books and field guide. What are some of your favorite art books that you have?
That's a good question, Miss Lydia. What are some of your favorite art books? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that
like and subscribe button.
That's right, and ring that bell for notifications. We're on Spreadshop and on Patreon. Amazing ways to support the channel if you can do so. And more importantly, everyone, stay healthy, stay safe, and much love.
Stay minty.
And that too.